Picture the student in the back of the room that would always sit quietly by himself, playing with an odd object on his desk. He barely spoke, barely interacted with the rest of the class, and went home to be by himself in his study. Now imagine that man was Albert Einstein, one of the most famous scientists in history, known for leading the research behind quantum mechanics and the theory of relativity. Introverts are often looked over in both childhood and adult life for those who are extroverted, often being misrepresented in the world around them, even though they come with great potential. Today I will show you that not only can you as an introvert succeed in life, but be the leader of the new world. But how is this possible? Let's find out. Whether or not someone is an introvert is usually measured by how much they exhibit the personality trait called extroversion. Extroversion means those who are talkative, excitable, and sociable. They tend to be very outgoing and not afraid to involve themselves in the outside world. They tend to make good salesmen, actors, and politicians. The other personality trait, introversion, means that those who are reserved, quiet, and passive. They tend to be more reclusive and wary, not being one to jump straight into potentially dangerous or fearful situations. They can make good stylists, authors, and inventors. So why are introverts often looked over? According to Queensland University of Technology, introverts occupy fewer leadership positions in the workforce than extroverts. When they are put into leadership positions, they are often classified as less leader-like than the extroverted leaders. Introverted leaders tend to be more soft-spoken and less forceful than the extroverted leaders around them. They do not make as much fuss or pull too hard to get that leadership role that is open. If there are introverts out there who want to be leaders, why don't they emerge as them then? According to several studies by both Queensland University and Harvard Business School, many introverts just don't think they're qualified. Queensland University used a personality test to question both introverts and extroverts about their leadership capabilities and any fears they may have. The test showed that many introverts are frightened and experience negative emotions around being leaders, psychologically blocking them from vying for these positions. And with all these psychological blocks in the way, how would introverts make good leaders? Well, for one, several studies show that introverts actually outperform extroverts in certain areas. One study showed that introverts make better leaders for procreative teams, and that introverts make more nurturing of mentors and leaders, as they often put individuals' needs and worries first. A study by Harvard showed that an extroverted leader can actually jeopardize a company's performance, especially if the other workers are also extroverts. Introverted leaders will often listen to their workers and process their opinions on tasks and ideas. One study in particular from 3 professors at Harvard was conducted using pizza chain restaurants. The pizza chain would often mail out questionnaires to customers after the pizza was delivered for feedback using a scale of 1 to 5. Researchers then compared the results to certain pizza chains based on what type of personalities the leaders and workers had. In stores where the leaders were extroverted along with their workers, profits were much lower than those who had introverted leaders. There are some downsides to introverts that are leaders, though. According to an analysis by the Leadership Quarterly, they found that introverts tended to give higher levels of negative effect on those around them when it came to negative situations. They often relied more on their workers and co-workers in social situations. In the political field, they are often not as present in the media and interviews, which can hinder their image with the public. But these are not necessarily bad traits. Relying on coworkers builds more trust and teamwork. Not constantly being in the spotlight means that not every mistake is broadcast across the nation. And introverts don't tend to draw the most attention to themselves, letting others have a chance to show and grow around them. But in the end, everyone can be an effective leader, no matter if you are introverted or extroverted. Introverts are often looked over due to them being less outgoing and energetic. Introverts triumph in the leadership roles, but that isn't always the best thing. Letting introverts claim leadership roles not only has statistically benefited the workforce, but also helps introverts come out of their shell a bit more. I myself am an introvert. I barely go to parties or hang with friends, but I am in a leadership position at my job, and I treat all of my coworkers as a friend, and we've always reached goals on the market. I never try to upstage them or be in the spotlight, and if you are an introvert yourself, Don't be afraid to take that jump and be a leader yourself. Be like Einstein and take that chance.